missions, one of the bagmen engaged in this. Yes, he was the head of the New York Fed. Yes, it's on record that he ordered the New York Fed lawyers to tell AIG and other recipients of the trillions of dollars to not tell the public who they were giving the money to. Again, from the start and in the Obama deception and in Fall of the Republic, we point out AIG and the 200+ billion it got alone, and the 50 billion to 4 European banks, and the list goes on, that it wasn't even about the CEOs getting bonuses. The media only focused on that. It was about the shareholders and about the other brokers and bankers, and it was about the companies that AIG and other holding companies paid out to. AIG was the holding company for the biggest payout of bonus money. It was the front that they said was insolvent, so that it could then pay out the money to Timmy Geithner and to Henry Paulson and others. You want to talk about criminality. We have Geithner, we have Ben Bernanke, we have Henry Paulson, we have them all testifying before Congress over and over and over again in the Ethics Committee, in the House Banking Committee, in the Senate Banking Committee, over and over and over. And we have the boil downs of that in both my films on this. And all they did was come up and say, we're not going to tell you where the trillions are. And all these different congressmen, Grayson and others, by the way, let's get Grayson back on. Grayson, Paul, Stern, the list goes on and on. Senator Sanders, they all said, where is the money? Where is the money? And who did you give the money to? And they all said, I won't tell you. I won't tell you. I won't tell you. In fact, we need to get some of those clips out of the films and play them on air today. There's just so much corruption. It's like putting on a court case every day here. There's so much evidence. I mean, how do you expose it all? But you've all heard the clips. You've all seen it. It's been on the news as well. We'll play some of those coming up later. Saying over and over again, we won't tell you. Now, why is that important? We have Timmy Geithner. We have Ben Bernanke. We have Paulson. We have Summers. We have Rubin. We have Greenspan. All of these culprits involved in the crime together over the last 20 years, all saying over and over again on record, we will not tell the public where the money went. And we have them in testimony saying they've ordered the banks and regulatory agencies not to tell people. Then Bloomberg kind of startled them, caught them, got them into a lie. Normally they just stonewall and say it's their right to do it, which obviously it's illegal out in the open. But they just go on about their business like a thief robbing your television set and jewelry right in front of you, and you pull up at your house and they're walking out with big screen TVs in their hands, and you say, what are you doing robbing me? And they said, oh, this is the wrong house. We were called here. We're movers. And then you run into the house to see what's missing, and when you come out, they're gone. But Bloomberg came out Thursday with the headline that Tim Geithner's New York Fed ordered AIG to not release the information to the federal government or the public or to other agencies of who was being paid the money, namely Goldman Sachs. And so for the last year and a half, they've been saying, we won't tell you where the money went, over and over and over again. And then now the White House got startled. Gibbs on Friday, we're going to play this clip coming up later. The White House got startled into openly lying and saying, no, Tim Geithner never knew about these emails from his New York Fed that he headed up. The New York Fed is the only Fed with any power. It calls all the shots administratively. He never told or had no knowledge of AIG being told not to say where the bonuses went when he's on record in all these House and Senate testimony hearings, admitting he told them not to. He is caught red-handed in perjury before the House and Senate. Now, that's the headlines I need from Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com and Infowars.net. And I've asked Kurt Nimmo, and I've asked Steve Watson, and I've asked Paul Watson, and I've asked Aaron Dykes, who are the greatest guys on the planet. They work around the clock. I've asked them, in notes I've sent them, to put together the articles along this line, because this is the line that nobody else is pointing out. We have these people dead to rights. We have them dead in our sights. We're fully loaded, like 100 submarines lined up with torpedoes in the chute. We've got the enemy aircraft carrier 1,000 yards away from us. Flood those torpedo chutes and fire weapons now. I've been screaming fire weapons since Friday. And I know all the other talk show hosts and writers listen to me. I don't care who fires torpedoes. I've given you the facts and how to sink these people. Fire weapons! Fire! What are we waiting for? Fire! He needs to be indicted right now for perjury. All of them need to be. We could bring these people down right now. They're not invincible. But the police, the military, the juries, the grand juries, everybody just stands around afraid to take these people on. I'm putting my life at risk doing this. Thank God I don't have any skeletons in the closet like Governor Spitzer with hookers, or that'd be on the news right now. But if they have to, they'll make stuff up. They're trying to go after Ron Paul, calling him an anti-Semite, trying to shut him down, exposing these people. But they've got a problem now. There's too many people telling the truth. There's too many people that see what's going on out in the open. Now, we literally have got our guns trained on these people, and nobody's opening fire. Well, I'm opening fire in the info war right now. Don't wait for orders from headquarters. Fire at will. Flood those torpedo tubes and launch, 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 launch.